Good morning, everyone. It's Claire here from Riviera Travel, National Sales Manager. I'm joined by Alex, one of my key account managers, and our fabulous tour manager, Adrian. So we really hope that you have got your cup of tea ready. I know I have, I don't know if you can see that. Some of you would have got a package of tea arriving this morning. So, but first of all, what we're going to do, we're going to show you a fabulous video that's been put together from our recent fam trip. So we're going to play that and then we'll take you through the itinerary. Hello and welcome to TTG Fest. We're here in Sri Lanka with 30 of our incredible agent partners who earned their place through our e-learning platform incentive. This video is your insider's look to our adventure holidays, and trust us, there's so much more than what's on our website. When you travel with Riviera Travel on a long-haul destination, here is what's always included. Your international flights and transfers, carefully hand-picked hotels, some amazing experiences and excursions, breakfast and selected meals, and of course, your very experienced Riviera tour manager who takes care of all the finer details for you.
Hi, my name's Adrian and I'm a Riviera tour manager here in Sri Lanka. I'll be with you from arrival to departure, and it's my job, my role to ensure that everything goes as well as possible, as smooth as possible, and basically ensure that you have a wonderful time and a wonderful experience here in Sri Lanka. The best time to visit Sri Lanka officially is usually between the months of December and April. However, throughout the year, even during the monsoon seasons, Sri Lanka is very, very kind to tourists. We must always find that Sri Lanka rain falls at the night time and the daytimes are just full of sunshine and enjoyment. So, an opportunity to tell future travellers to this wonderful island what you need to bring along with you. Well, first and foremost, nice lightweight clothing. Very cotton, brilliant linen, anything like that. Extremely important is also your footwear. Always bring some nice comfortable walking shoes. And may I also remind customers that we do a visits to a few temples, so an appropriate dress for the temple, which means that your shoulders and your knees must be well covered, and don't forget the temple socks, because we have to remove our shoes. A little bit about the currency of Sri Lanka. It's a closed currency, so the currency of the island is the Sri Lankan rupee. What I would always advise people to do is to bring along their sterling, not to change it in the UK, but wait till they arrive here on the island. And you can change at the airport as soon as you arrive, always a good rate. And of course, during the tour, you're going to have lots of possibilities either to change further currency or indeed many ATM machines along route, so we'll always make sure you have the relevant currency. Tipping in Sri Lanka is part of their culture. Everybody tips everybody. So to overcome you worrying about lots and lots of small notes, please don't worry, we'll deal with that. We have a fantastic system of a tip kitty on board the tour, which basically means all tipping from hotel staff to jeep drivers, toilet attendants, people who are serving us coffee at our comfort stops. It's all dealt with by myself from the tip kitty. The island of Sri Lanka is a highlight in itself, but from feedback from guests, we get their personal experiences. Some are absolutely infatuated with the magnificence of climbing Sigiriya Rock. Many are mesmerised with the beautiful colours, the greens, the shades of the hill country and the tea plantations. Of course, one of the favourites of everybody is a visit to the elephant transit home, where we get to see the little elephants of Sri Lanka enjoying milk and feeding on foliage right in front of us. For myself, my personal favourite, every single aspect of the tour. One of the most beautiful things about Sri Lanka is virtually every day is a different scenery, from the coastal belt to the lowlands, to the highlands, to the arid areas and the safari parks. It's just an island that keeps on giving.
This morning we went out to the safari, which was absolutely fantastic. We went to National Park, we've seen lots of different animals. Highlight was definitely seeing the leopard and the elephants as well.
The standout moment from this trip probably has to be the Sigiriya Rock. It's the one thing I'd been looking forward to the most before I came away, and it really lived up to expectations. The views on the top were stunning.
The boat cruise that we did, seeing the water monitors, is a massive highlight. Seeing, I love wildlife, so.
One of the highlights from this tour was visiting the tea plantation. I will now appreciate my cup of tea in the morning after all the work that goes into picking those tea leaves.
The wildlife has been just amazing, and I think something that maybe people don't think about is the people of Sri Lanka. They're just so welcoming and warm and seem really happy. It's just nice to be here.
When our product team choose accommodation, the priority is always comfort and quality. We aim to include a minimum of 4-star hotels throughout the tour, not just for the facilities, but because we understand it's important for guests to have a nice, comfortable base to come and relax after a long day of exploring. Location is key too. Here at Riviera, we handpick our hotels to reduce travel times and ensure quality and authentic experiences throughout the tour. We want every hotel to reflect the character of the destination without compromising on guests' expectations. Every hotel is reviewed and inspected by us to make sure we're offering the best experience possible.
I was really shocked when we came here and how good the standard of hotels were. We've had some really amazing hotels, especially the one we're in now, which is Yanantara, and then also the one in Nuwara Eliya.
The accommodation we've stayed in has been top-notch, and it's catered for anybody from families to single people, for solos travelling themselves, and also couples wanting a getaway as well.
The rooms have been stunning, so large compared to what you would probably get in Europe. The pool size, the location, the food in the hotels, absolutely everything with accommodation has been perfect. I've got no faults with it whatsoever, and clients will love all hotels.
So what makes a Riviera tour so special? Well, we choose guides who are local, knowledgeable and passionate. They really bring the destination to life. It's not just about sightseeing with Riviera, it's about true cultural immersion and authentic experiences.
I've been tour guiding for the last 35 years. Tourism is one of our major exports because you bring in foreign currency. You bring in your British pound here, so it's one of our main exports. It secures more than 350,000 jobs directly, and then we have more than 700,000 indirect who are employed, like transport, etc., etc. And we take our tourism very seriously. We have been having a Ministry of Tourism since mid-1970s, and we have our DMCs like Walker's Tours who works with Riviera, and we are professional, and we have been having so much experience in these last more than 50 years, I would say, of tourism. Those who have not visited Sri Lanka, all I can say is, please visit my country or visit this beautiful island. You'll never regret it. Its biodiversity is enormous, and within this small geographical space of 65,000 square kilometers, what you see is amazing. What you see is amazing. Like Marco Polo said, the island of Ceylon, for its size, is the most beautiful in the world.
Sustainability is something that we are very mindful of. We work very closely with our DMCs who have strong sustainability programs in place. It's very much a collaborative effort, and we make sure that our local suppliers hold the same strong values that we do. We essentially want our guests to get the most diverse experiences that they possibly can. So with that, they feel like they've come away knowing that they have really got under the skin of the destination.
There's so much I would tell my clients about this tour. I think the main thing that I would tell them is how much you actually get to do on this tour. All the included activities have been amazing, but apart from that, there's so much that you see when you're on the go. I didn't really take into account how much I would actually see when we're travelling on the coach. We've done so many stops on the way, places I never thought I would see.
Basically, you need to do Sri Lanka on a tour. It's the only way you get to see everything in the country that you need to see, and you just don't miss a thing. The guides have been exceptional. Everywhere we've been, we haven't had to queue, we've just gone straight in. Everything's been prepaid for. It's just been amazing.
One thing that stood out for me is the local guide and the tour manager had so much information, and it was all really interesting as well. That was really good, and also how inclusive it is with everyone. You move around the bush, you make friends by the end of it. It's really good.
So my top tip with selling Sri Lanka would be to, if you've been before, use photos, sell a story, show the accommodation, show where you've been. If you haven't been, then use all the resources you can through the Facebook trade page, etc. Just use as much as you can. Put all of the tours that are included, because a lot don't include them, and also look at things like the signature tours that will give you that little extra insight into Sri Lanka.
The organisation is fantastic. The tour guides are amazing. Their knowledge is fantastic. The planning of it's amazing. So like the Sigiriya Rock, for example, the timing of it was perfect. We went up at the coolest time of the day. Did mean an early morning, but it was well worth it. The downtime as well that people get is something that I hadn't quite expected. So you get to see everything there is to see, but you also get time to relax, which is just amazing.
My insider tip would definitely be to do the signature tour. It's one of those things, I think, on the website, I've never really understood it until I've actually experienced it. Just by having those extra activities, like when we had the high tea and when we did the boat ride, it just really has made the experience so much better. And I think it's definitely worth the additional money, especially when it's only a couple of £100 each. It's nothing really, and it just made it even better.
From an add-on point of view, I would definitely say go on the second safari. Even if you've seen everything you think you want to see in the morning, the experience in the afternoon is going to be completely different, so do it again.
I think insider tips, if you've not done a tour before, packing cubes are a game changer. So every hotel you get to, you can just take everything out and pick out what you want instead of having to rummage through your case. I think binoculars are really handy, particularly for Yala, because obviously, particularly for the bird life, which is sometimes quite far away on a tree. With the binoculars you can really see it so clearly.
The hotels all have washing facilities, so you can send your clothes off in the morning and they come back in the afternoon, so you don't need to pack everything because you can get washing there.
Top tip for packing, I think, would be not to pack too much, because there's so much you can actually buy when you're over here. So I've definitely packed too much, but definitely stuff lightweight linen clothes and nothing too dressy. Want to be on the next Riviera fam trip? It all starts with the e-learning. Complete and boost your confidence in selling long-haul travel. Thank you for joining us at the TTG Fest, and maybe we'll see you on the next long haul fam trip.
Oh, well, I don't know about you, Alex, but that is just giving me goosebumps, that video. It's like reliving it all again, isn't it?
I know, take me back. Honestly, it's one of those trip of a lifetime.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to run you through a bit of a presentation. So I'll let you start, Alex.
Yeah, so obviously you've just seen our Sri Lanka mega fam trip, a video. Now we're going to kind of walk you through it a bit more on a day-by-day basis. So this is our amazing group, like I say, 30 agents. It was absolutely incredible. So let's just kick off. So we did do the Sri Lanka tour. The only difference from this itinerary you see here is we had a few signature experiences included, and we had one day less at the end. So ours was actually 10 nights. But typically your clients would have a 13-day tour, which is 11 nights, and you really do cover a lot in that time. So you can kind of see here on this map, this is how much you cover. So obviously you can see the size of Sri Lanka. You cover a good chunk of the country. It's about, 1/3, probably like almost half. And you really do get to see a lot. You cover every single corner of the country, and really see like all the touristy places that you need to see. As mentioned as well, it is all 4 to 5 star accommodation. You do get those inclusions, which are really nice. And obviously your Riviera tour guide and tour manager throughout the tour, and your flights and luggage and select meals are included. So it's fantastic value for money. One thing to bear in mind as we speak, this is now on sale for $1,999, which is a phenomenal price. So value for money wise, phenomenal. So jumping into day one, after about, I think it's about 12 hours traveling, we arrived to the lovely Ari Lagoon Hotel. This hotel was stunning, and you'll probably hear us say this a lot. I think throughout the tour, they just kept getting better and better, but we really kicked off with a nice one. You can see there was a lovely pool there, and this actually overlooks a lake, and there's a beach on the other side. So it's a really good location. So this is in Negombo, which is just outside Colombo. You can actually see on the beach, if you look at the skyline, there's actually Colombo, which is right there. So that's just how close you are to the capital, which is really nice. But day one is just mega chill, relax, sit by the pool, sip some cocktails, and just completely relax. We even got to see a lovely sunset on this day. But yeah, day one is really just easing you into the tour and getting to know your other fellow travelers and kind of just chilling. So yeah.
Okay, and then really the start of the tour is that we got into the coach and drove through Negombo. We got to stop at Negombo, which is a traditional sort of fishing village, and then we drove on to the Jambula Caves. Now, the great thing about this tour is that like not only are you passing amazing scenery the whole time, but there's not really any kind of long journeys. Adrian, I'm going to pull you in here because I think the longest journey probably is about 6 hours, isn't it, in total of the tour?
Yeah, that will be the day that we travel from the highlands from Nuwara down to Tisa Maharama in the arid area down towards the safari park. However, with any of the journeys, we do frequent coffee comfort stops. So usually a maximum we're ever traveling without a stop is 2 hours.
Yeah, and the stops are incredible. So, they're not just service stations. So our first stop was by this beautiful lake, which they call Tanks in Sri Lanka. And Adrian introduced everyone or recommended that we all have the EGB, which is elephant ginger beer, which is absolutely delicious and very good in the warm climates as well. And then after that lovely stop, we then went up to the Jambula Caves, which are, you've got these amazing Buddha temples with the Buddha statues in there, and the tour guide will take you through all the history and the culture and explain to you what you're looking at really. And there's, I think was it about 4 caves, Adrian? He's on mute.
I'm on mute. Yeah, sorry. And there's actually a total of 7 caves.
Oh, 7! Wow.
Yeah. And by the way, it's Dambula.
I knew you were going to correct me on the pronunciation. Didn't take too long, did it? So, but Dambulla, okay, so absolutely incredible. And then we had our first night in another beautiful hotel, which we highlighted in the video. And then day 3, probably one of the favourite of the trip for everybody was Sigiriya Rock, and pretty impressive that most of the group actually did climb. Some climbed a part way, so there is options where you don't have to go right to the top, you can kind of go halfway up. If not, you don't want to climb any of it, then Adrian actually did take the group around the gardens. There's some beautiful gardens around the base, so you could spend the whole day there. As one of the agents said in the video, we go there early to beat the heat and get up to the rock, beat the heat, midday heat, and then come back to the hotel where we get to relax in the afternoon. So a very, very well worked. Those that did make it to the top, as you can see, we're jumping for joy and felt that we'd really achieved something that day.
It was good. It's all very well planned out, the tour. I think that's something that I'd really highlight is like Claire said, and Wendy, one of the people on the tour, it's if you're getting up early, it's for a reason. It's to beat the heat, and it really does make a difference. So jumping into day 4. So this was going into Kandy. On the way, we did stop at this Golden Tooth Temple. You can see it's huge. You do pass a lot of temples as you go through Sri Lanka. Same with wildlife. You kind of just get used to it as you go along. But it was a really scenic drive. I think one of the things that's definitely worth pointing out, you do spend some time on a coach, but you're going through such beautiful places. These pictures in the middle here were just taken through the coach window. And it's stunning. Like, you don't really want to sleep because you fear that you'll miss something. But it is really nice. And then we went into the spice gardens in the afternoon. So this was like a medicinal tour and basically showing us what grows in Sri Lanka and how they use it in their local products. I didn't expect to enjoy this as much as I did. It was absolutely amazing. So we got to actually try a lot of the stuff. So they showed us like massage oils that they'd made. We got massages included, which was pretty amazing. I was pretty happy with that. That was all included as well. It was brilliant. And because of the tip kitty and stuff, you don't really worry everywhere you go about, oh, do I have to leave a tip? Do I have to sort this? It all just kind of gets taken care of, which is really nice. But yeah, this was quite a immersive day, getting to really go into that Sri Lankan rainforest. And the guide on the tour really made it here.
What was his name, Adrian? I mean, he was a real character, wasn't he? The guy in the spice gardens.
Brilliant.
Demetrius.
Sorry?
What was
his name? Was Demetrius.
Oh, that's the tour guide. Yeah, and then we had the other guy in the spice garden. Was it Bobby?
No, sorry, in the spice gardens. It's Bonnie.
Bonnie, that was it. Bonnie.
That's it. Bonnie.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he was absolutely brilliant. Like, he just really brought it to life and really like making the group get involved. You're not just getting talked at about whatever plants you're looking at. It was really, really interesting. He was really fantastic and really relatable, kind of to like what we know. Like when we look at the cocoa plants, he was like, it's not like Cadbury's. It's good quality dark chocolate. Just everything was amazing, and we really learned a lot that day. And that was just completely unexpected, but that was definitely really cool. And then day 5, so this was the second day in Kandy. So on day 4, we actually arrived into the Cinnamon Habara hotel, which is in Kandy. Cinnamon Citadel. And then on the second day, in the morning, we went to the lovely gardens. So you can see them here. This is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Is that right, Adrian? I believe. No, is it not? Okay, ignore that.
It should be.
It felt like it. Yeah, I think like royalty had been there and everything. Like what you said, like Queen Elizabeth. It's a pretty cool place. So they have like tequila plants, cactuses, just like so many exotic different plants. It's really cool. And we had a nice early morning there. And then when we got back to the hotel, some of us did the signature boat tour experience. So this is the thing that Dan was talking about. I know Claire saw a lot on her boat trip. You guys saw saw like water monitors, just like
I almost got in the boat with us. It was that close.
it was pretty cool. Like, so this hotel in Kandy was right by this river. So for this boat experience, literally we just had to walk down a few steps and we were on the river, and it was really cool because obviously like you can see it from above, but you really kind of get into like the nitty gritty of it and kind of see all the wildlife and stuff. So that was really fun. I know lots of people really enjoyed that. And then in the evening we had the Kandy cultural show. Now this was phenomenal. We had like lots of like cultural dances. It was an amazing performance, really. We had fire dancing as well, people walking through fire. I think you saw some of it in the video, but this was really cool. It was very kind of authentic. And one thing that I'd kind of highlight here was it was really good because Adrian, who's on the call with us now, he knows absolutely everything about Sri Lanka. So when it came to souvenirs and things like that, he advised us this was a great place to get some little silver elephant pendants. 75p, really, really cheap. But just having that like little insider knowledge really takes the pressure off when it comes to things like, buying souvenirs and sorting gifts out. So that's kind of another thing that I'd really highlight about escorted touring in general, but also our guides, is just how knowledgeable they are, not only about the destination, but everything else in and around the destination. It really does kind of just make the trip a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable. So yeah, that was quite a jam-packed day. Going on to day 6, a bit of a change of climate.
Yeah, it's a day 6. So yeah, after our cultural show where we had the Sri Lankan Jimi Hendrix, in the morning we then went to the Temple of the Tooth Relic, so which is in the centre of Kandy, and that's one of the main reasons people travel to Kandy, because of course it's the tooth of the Buddha. And then we then drive up into and I know you might correct me again here, Adrian, Nuwara. So
Nuwara Elia.
Yeah, the way he said it. The drive is stunning, isn't it? Because it's just a change of scenery, and as you're going up, it's getting cooler and cooler. And then you've got the tea plantations, and here is where we actually went to one of those tea plantations and saw how they make the tea, from picking the plants to having the cup of tea that we have in front of us now. And it's incredible just to see how that's all processed. And a lot of it is kind of old-fashioned techniques as well. So that was really good. And then we ended up going to a nice shop. I bought far too much tea, but then again, you can never have too much tea, can you? And then we went to another absolutely stunning hotel called the Golden Ridge, 5-star hotel, and that's where we had our signature experience, which was the afternoon tea, which you can see from the image there. And that top image is the view from the hotel. Then we had an opportunity to go into Nuwara, and they've got some markets there and to do a bit of shopping. And it's a very unusual place, isn't it? Because it's kind of a mix of, it's got an old English post office, but then there's a Buddha next to it, and then there's a market. So it's a kind of, and some of the houses look like they could be in Switzerland, or there's a real mishmash of different architecture up there. So yeah, that was Nuwara. And then the great thing is, again, as I mentioned earlier, on the drives, and this is what the drive that Adrian mentioned earlier. It's not it's a 6-hour drive, but
doesn't feel like it.
No, we break it up. So we stopped at a temple. Then we stopped at these amazing, stunning waterfalls. We stopped at Ella Gap, which has this dramatic green rolling hills, for another EGB stop. And then we went to go and see the little orphan elephants, which was a real treat. And we sat there very patiently, again, having the knowledge of the tour manager. Adrian was like, let's get there a little bit earlier. I know the best seats to sit, so that when the elephants run in, we can see them all coming from the gate, running up and getting the milk. So that was really a real treat to see. And then we went on to Yala, another fantastic hotel, to then Yala National Park.
Yeah, so I was going to say, in Sri Lanka, you see a lot of wildlife. So at this point in the tour already, we'd seen a few wild monkeys, we'd seen all sorts, snake charmers, everything like that.
But when you get into Yala, it really takes it to that next level. So on this day, we had 2 safaris. We had one in the morning. I think we had to leave the hotel at, was it like 5 a.m., 4:45, and really early start. But it's 100% worth it. As Wendy, I think, mentioned in the video, you see so many different things in the morning to what you do in the afternoon. So in the morning, the animals are kind of hunting for breakfast, and so you kind of see them more moving, whereas in the afternoon, they're more stationary. And honestly, we got so extremely lucky. So all these photos that you can see here were actually from our trip. None of these were from, off the website or these were all taken on my phone. That's how close we got to get to these animals. So we actually were really lucky. We saw a leopard in the morning, saw a few.
Some of us saw a leopard in the morning. I didn't. I almost didn't go in the afternoon. I was shown that picture by Libby, one of the travel agents. Yeah. I thought she took it off a website, but no, it's actually her photo. And then I went out and we saw 3 in the afternoon. So
yeah, it was really good. In the afternoon, we saw 3 leopards. So 4 in total for me that day, but it was absolutely phenomenal. Like, this was definitely my highlight of the tour. Definitely something I'd recommend to do. Both safaris, 100% worth it. But yeah, I think I enjoyed that. Day 9, you go down into Gaul. This is a nice scenic drive. You go in more to the lower part of the island, so there's a lot more beaches, a lot more coast. We did stop off at we stopped off at Gaul first. You can see the tuk-tuks here. Had a nice chill day there. Nice fisherman village you can see there. And then we did stop at the turtle hatchery, which was absolutely lovely, very cute and wholesome. Taken on to Day 10, this was just a nice chill day at the end in our lovely 5-star hotel. This was absolutely stunning. So this was in the Kalutra Hotel, which was just
Anantara in Kalutra. So 5-star, and as I say, normally the clients get 3 nights. 3 nights. We had 2 nights to chill. They get 3 nights. So so that's a real whistle-stop tour. You've seen the video as well. Adrian, is there any extra sort of takeaways, top tips from yourself, being the expert?
Reading.
Oh, he's disappeared as well as his voice. I don't know how he's managed that.
But honestly, there's so much.
The guy's a genie. But yeah, look, you've seen the video. This is recorded. You can watch it back again. It's you can see how passionate we are. We've lived it, we've breathed it, I would highly recommend it. The people are friendly. It's clean. It's orderly as well. So it's quite different to India, but yeah, absolutely fantastic destination.
It's got my heart. We're going back for sure.
Absolutely. Is he back? No, he's disappeared. He's on the beach. He's moaning about the weather earlier, so he's gone to the beach. That's where he's gone. But listen, thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. I'm just having a look to if there's any questions. Vaccinations, no, you don't need any vaccinations. I know Roxy's been answering some of these. If you've got clients that want to go from a different airport than what we advertise, then please do just ask our travel concierge team, because we can look at additional airports for you. And as Alex said, we do have a special offer on at the moment. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks,
and please send your clients to Sri Lanka.